Hey everyone, so I'm just going to do an install video, maybe show you how to use a roof fan that I've bought there on AliExpress. So this is basically a fan that does extract and intake, 10 different speeds on it, comes with remote control, has a rain sensor built in. You turn the rain sensor on and off. That's what we got on it here, 10 different speeds on the fan. You can open or close the actual fan lid itself. It goes up several different degrees. So I'm ready to actually install it in there now at the moment. So first of all, I must pull this one out. Nothing wrong with this vent anyway, so I'm going to hold on to it. So I've already some of the trim down. That's the original. Sorry. That's actually the original blind and stuff. So blind, and there's a built-in fly screen. So my major issue with this fan was I wanted to get this back on and back up onto the van itself while incorporating the fan on the inside of it, which is very, very hard to do, but I think I'll be able to do it. So I must pull this fan out first of all. Had to buy some stuff there today as well, so I bought a fuse, a couple of crimps, bought a couple of bit of cable. I couldn't get the twin cable, so I'm just going to use red and green, which is supposed to be black, I suppose, but doesn't really matter. Positive and negative. The fan only uses 2 amps anyway, so I think this is loads. It's 8 amp cable anyway, so it should do fine. So I'm going to go ahead now and actually take out this fella so first. So I'll see you in a minute. So that's the trim off on the inside. So I'm going to go outside now and actually take a look outside. I'd say if I pushed hard enough now, I'd say this vent would probably push straight out because it's only glued in. There's no screws on the outside of this vent. So I'm just go outside to have a look. So it actually looks like there was a non-setting sealant used on these skylights before, which makes removal extremely simple. So I'm just going to go right around the whole original skylight here and just loosen it up, and it should push straight out then from the inside. It should just push off the roof. So I'll keep going around here and I'll get back to you in 2 seconds. So I didn't have to try very hard, lads, to get that out. It's only barely stuck down. So that's what I have. So I'm going to clean all this off, make it nice and clean, remove all the old stuff, and I might give it a clean up with a bit of WD-40. Get a spick and span for the next one. So we get rid of this stuff first and we'll do a bit of cleaning. So I actually use WD-40, that's for cleaning. It's clean. It doesn't damage anything. So it actually lifts that off. You spray it on, just leave it on for a couple of minutes, it just softens it all. That's coming up fantastic. Just wash the roof someday. The roof is crawling. That's the next job anyway. So I think that's good enough anyway. One small bit left there. Flies off. That should be clean enough anyway. Let's get the WD-40 off it now. I have to watch over here. I see 2 small tiny cracks in the PVC, so I have to make sure they're covered. Now I'm not going to use, I'm actually sticking this down with Tech 7. Some people agree, some people disagree. Reason I'm doing it, I'm not, the fan that's inside there now, there's about 20 screw holes. I'm not putting 20 screw holes into this fan. I'll be sealing up 20 screw holes and hoping they don't leak. I might put in 4 or 6 screws into this. I put enough screws into it because a lot of these vans have floating. See the roof. A lot of the roofs will be floating in a large area. So at least if I put 4 or 6 screws into it, it'll hold it down. The rest will be held from inside anyway. So I'm just going to do a dry fit and just see how she fits in. Jeez, that's beautiful. Nice lip around it. There's 15 or 20 mil of a lip. That's perfect. Same around here now. So when you're fitting these, lads, and I make sure when the roof vent actually opens, that it opens this way, not that it opens that way. Because if you go driving, you leave a roof vent open, gone. So make sure when you're fitting these, the roof vent opens up this way. So I'm going to go inside now and just do a dry fit with the inside part of it. Just line it up, dry fit the inside. I might come back outside here and then actually mark the van. I don't want to stick it down yet until I know exactly that the inside is going to fit, because if I stick it down the outside here and I'll try and fit the inside part, it mightn't line up. So I'll assemble the two of them together now first of all. So she's looking pretty good inside here. See, I'm fairly fussy, you know. This is the original frame, you see, that came with this fan. When I cut a chunk off it and set it flush into the ceiling, because the original blind set, I'm trying to fit the original blind set actually back over the whole fan again, so the fan actually sits into the center of my original blind set, and the original blind set then will just completely cover this, because it doesn't come with a blind or anything, and being over your bed, there's no way that I want to be sleeping inside bed and having that kind of light actually shining in on top of you. So smallish, you know, this goes on fairly perfect, but it's raised, has a raised edge, and the raised edge is getting caught on these little fellas inside. There's it there, the little lips inside there. So I might just cut little notches out of these, cut a notch there in the centre, cut a notch here. So when it sits back up into the ceiling, it'll sit exactly 100% flush. And then once I get this 100% flush, and make sure the blind goes on perfect from inside, I can mark it on the outside and remove it, and then reseal it and stick in a few screws. So I'm just in the workshop there now, lads, and I just done a slight modification to the blind cover. I literally only took out maybe 7 or 8 mil slots in all the corners, and in the centre corner as well. Corner, centre, corner. So this should fit like a glove now when I try it outside. Like having your original blind and fly screen to fit onto some spurious fan that you're trying to fit to your van, it's a huge bonus. That's the reason I didn't fit this a couple of weeks back. I had a look at it and I says, nah, there's too much to it. But put my head together then and I says, look, do another bit of research and just go at it and just do it slowly, and do it in such a way that if you F up, that you can put your original vent roof back in and just walk away from it. But no, it's going perfect. So I'm going to go out now and just try and fit this, just dry fit it again and see how that goes. So that dry fit, lads, that fits absolutely spot on. You can't even see where I actually cut the original. Anyway, when the covers of the blinds go on, it covers all that. So all you'll see is the actual fan itself then. And if you actually pull the blind, you can no longer see the fan. I need to do something with this fit as well, because that's going to get caught in the fan. I don't need, that's the manual override. I don't need a manual override on it, because if it ever stops and breaks down, it'll get thrown in the bin and replaced again. So I might just cut that shaft off a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely going to caught in the blinds. I'll be doing a chop on that fella, I think, for the blinds to slide easy. So the dry fit now, lads, is absolutely spot on. I haven't pushed this up to the ceiling or anything yet now, so I don't want to until I'm actually ready. So to be able to actually have your original blinds back for night time is worth its weight in gold. I know there's a fly screen on that already. You can't see it because of the light, but there's an original fly screen on that. Plus I have my own fly screen back again, so I have a double fly screen. So I'm going to go up on the roof of the van now, and I'm happy that that's exactly where I want it inside. So I'm going to mark it on the roof above, exactly where I'm going to be when I put Tech 7 on it, exactly the place that I want to place it down. So I only put 4 small marks now on the roof, right in the corner. Put another small mark there. Another small mark around here because I won't be able to wipe them off after. And it's just a tiny mark there as well. So if I line it up to the 4 of them before I drop it onto the roof, it should be the exact same place that I want. I might stick in 4 screws, maybe 6 screws or so. I'm not putting 20 screws into the van, trying to seal 20 screws into the van. So when I put the screws in, I'll be putting the screws in, I'll be dipping the screws in Tech 7. When I'll drill the holes and dip the screws in Tech 7, and I'll screw whatever amount of screws I'm going to put down onto it. And once the screws go in flush, then I'll just finish the top of it with Tech 7 as well, just smooth it off so there'll be nothing get into it. Before I actually seal it in now, that's a manual override for opening the roof vent. So that's the only drawback about fitting this and trying to get my original blinds in. The original blinds are getting cut off that, so sorry, manual override has to go. To be fair, if the manual override if the fan ever goes or the roof vent ever goes and you're only manually overriding it with that thing, you best throw the whole lot out and actually put a new one in. So I'm going to go back out now and actually get her stuck down in place next. So there's a nice bead of silicone now, lads, right around on the inside of the holes, obviously, right around the whole way. So I'm going to drop this in now and hope that I don't have to take it out again. Drill a couple of screws in and screw it down. So she's in place there now, lads. So Tech 7 is on the inside as well now. So before I actually screw it down onto the roof permanently, I'm going to go in and just dry fit, spend 5 minutes actually dry fitting as much as I can inside, just to make sure they're lining up before I come back out and re-screw some of these screws down. So I'm going to go in and just do a dry fit again. So I just fitted back on the blind screen here, lads, just around it. So I know now it's exactly the position I want it in. She's Tech 7 above, so I'm going to go back onto the roof now and actually drill the blast of screw holes. So when you're putting in the screws, lads, don't be afraid of a bit of Tech 7 or sealant on your screw. Finish them with a screwdriver later, so let's get into 4 corners first of all. Don't go too tight, lads, you'll crack. You can finish with a manual screwdriver after and just make sure they're all tight. I gave into the fact of using all the screws. You can see there as I put in the screws, you can see this Tech 7 sealant actually coming right out to the edge. That is perfect. It's a perfect seal. So I'll just go ahead now and finish off the rest of them around the whole lot. So don't be shy with your Tech 7, lads. Most of it's going to go down into most of it will go into the thread hole anyway. It's easy to clean it off. It's not easy to add it when it's leaking a couple of weeks later. So now's the time. Not the best screws now. There's other screws I had to find inside in the shed. That's a perfect seal. I'll finish off the other 4 there now. So that's all the screws in, lads. So next job is to now any of the excess that came out around here. I was half thinking about not even cleaning it, but I think I will. So I'll just put a bit of WD-40 onto it there and just rub it in and just make it flush so there's nothing seen. So we'll do that next. So guys, that's us finished up here. I kind of went the extra mile and I sealed off all the tops of all the stainless steel screws that we put in, cleaned all the excess around it. So I don't think this is going to be leaking anything in the near future. Probably won't be coming out in the near future. We're stuck down with Tech 7 anyway. So I'm going to leave the plastic film on it there until I'm actually finished with all the gunk and the tools on Tech 7. Last thing I want now is Tech 7 and the clear polycarbonate cover, and you're looking at it every time you sleep inside the bed. So I'm going to go downstairs now, and I'm going to stick on the rest of it below. So see you soon. So that's that part in, lads. So my next issue is, before I can box up the frame part here for the blinds and stuff, cables. So cables have to be hidden. I have to get them out the corner here some kind of a way, in through the track here, so it's not seen, into the cupboards, come out of that track again, and I clip it up inside in the cupboards, heading over here into the box section, and I'll connect on to 10 amp. I think that's a 10 amp, not a USB, sorry, cigarette lighter adapter. So I'll stick an inline fuse on it, and the live coming off that. That only comes live anyway when the actual panel is turned on. So, you know what, now things are going so good, I think I'll spoil myself. And I'll have one of these. Oh, that's refreshing. There'll be no work now after all the beer. No, seriously, I'm going to run in 2 cables first of all. I'm going to drill a hole in here first of all, and I'm going to feed them out. So the tails are coming out here, and I'll join them onto the 2 cables that are here. So I'll have the longer part of the cable in here, so I can run it over here in a minute. So we'll do that part next. So just doing the wiring there, lads. So I've just crimped the cables. Just make sure you get your polarity right. Red in that fan is positive. It's going to a red, negative, white. It's going to my so-called negative green. So I'm going to tuck the cables up in here, bring them out the corner. I've managed to get the cables actually into the original ducting, so it's very neat. That's the cables in the cupboard. I'll clip them up there in a minute and feed them over. So I'm going to tuck up these cables. I'm going to tape them up first of all on here on top of the cribs, and I'm going to tuck them up, bring them out the corner, and get back on the original trim here and see what she looks like then. So guys, the trim went on absolutely spot on. Cables are coming out the side here now. They're going into the original trim that runs across the van. So cables are running in there now, they're running into the cupboard, and I'll sort them out there next in a minute. But you wouldn't even know. I have my original blinds back as well, which you're really weren't supposed to have with that fan. It's not a max air. So fly screen as well. Even though there's a built-in fly screen inside in it. Touch controls as well. I go through all the workings of it there as soon as I'm going to wire it up there now next, so I'll just take a few minutes down to wire it up next. But in the meantime, I think I'll go back in here. I think I deserve another one of these. Now right, Mal. So we'll have another one of them when we listen to Brit Christy more. And then we do a bit of wiring. So I'm really happy with that now, the way it's turned out so far. Finished on the roof, finished inside here. Just a bit of wiring, sorry for the messy bed, I'm actually working on top of it. Molly, say hello. Say hello to everyone. That's not a hello, that's feck off. Say hello. Hey. Molly. Give me the beat. Be good. So, finito lads. We're installed. We're wired into the cupboard. I must clip those up now there later on, but for the time being they're fine. They're going through the box there And I'm at putting all this back again, but that's a cupboard above the fridge. There's a load of cables in there, so I have wired it into the cigarette outlet, which is a 10 amp. There's two massive cables going onto it there. They're 2.5s or 4 squares, so I've gone onto those two cables. The fan is only 2 amps anyway, so it draws nothing. So it's wired. So here we go. Remote control. This is the only thing I want when you're lying in bed in the middle of France. Is it too loud? Turn it on. I'm going to bring the air in. I'm going to open. You can't see that here now, but she's actually opening the louver door above it. I'll show you from the outside in a minute if you want to see. That's fairly well open, so it's open 60 or 70 degrees. So I'm going to bring the air in, fan at 10%. Would I sleep with that if I was in France, 25 degrees and a lovely cold fresh air coming in on top of me? Yes, I would. That's 10%. Yeah, you would sleep with that 10%. You wouldn't need any higher than 10% at night time. It goes a lot higher, obviously. It gets a lot louder as well, but you don't need any higher than 10% at night time. So I've got 20%. 30%. 40. 50. 60. 70. Now it's getting louder. You wouldn't have it on that speed at night, innit? 90, 100. It's like a hurricane up on top of me now. So it's coming in, so I press the out. Fan slows down and stops and reverses. Now it's sucking the air out of the van, so if you open your front windows you're going to get a massive draft through the van, which would be beautiful. So let's slow it down. 10%. So it's sucking out now at 10%. There's a rain sensor on it as well, lads. So if it rains in the middle of the night when it's actually open and the sensor gets wet instead of soaking you inside in the bed, it's going to close and turn off. Rain sensor. Rain sensor's on there. Now I had it off. And that's off. And that's back on again. There's degrees Celsius and Fahrenheit as well. If you press it down, you can hear it's closing the louver now up above. Press it again and it stops. So yeah, I'm 100% happy with that. I'm going to go up on the roof now and just show you the louver opening and closing. So I'll power it off here. So the remote's gone off. The louver's closing. The fan shut off. Really happy with that. I'm going to show you outside, lads. Hey, man. I don't know if the remote control will work outside. I presume it will. Shit, I must take off the plastic. Power it on. Of course the remote wouldn't work on the outside, would it? No. Oh, it is. That's her running. That's your rain sensor, lads. Just throw a bit of water on it. Of course it's not turned on the remote control, isn't it? Rain sensor on. Now it's closing because it's wet. Oh yeah, let's keep closing. So that's it, lads. If you have any questions, just ask. Might make a few more videos in the near future. I have loads of other stuff I could be actually making videos of, so if you want any more, just say so. Over and out. See you.